Right. Okay. So I thought it would be easier if I just record the whole process of creating a custom list in Metastocks for you guys. So you know what I'm doing, what I did, and what I'm talking about, and actually the overall problem with Metastock 15, and if that is actually a problem at all, because maybe that's just my inexperience with the program. Anyways, I'm booting up Metastock 11 just to show you the stuff I do, right? So everything aside, I have my own custom favorite list. So if I go to open and go to favorite, here are all my favorites, right? So I can select the set 100, which is like the top 100 stocks in the top ranking stocks in set. Set is the stock exchange of Thailand, right? So the list is published twice a year. I get the list from the stock exchange website, and then I import the list into Metastock in a format I'll discuss later. So I have these lists, so I can run tests with these lists when I wanted to. I have a record of these lists. This is on my notebook, so I don't have like a whole back catalog of all the lists I have. I have some custom lists that I made myself, and some lists that were created with filters. So this is generally what my list looks like. I have lots of lists. I even have a list for all the stocks in the market. I'll point this out later. Actually, I'll point this out now. This is what our data look like. If we go to the folder that contains all the security in the Stocks Exchange of Thailand. What we see here is everything. We got everything. I'm doing things with my hands. I shouldn't be doing that. All right. What we see here is everything in the market. Stocks, index. What else? Funds. Derivative, futures, warrants. Everything is thrown in here in this one folder, and the data comes like that. If we go to look at what it actually looks like, I think I have my source in Dropbox. I think let's go to Dropbox and data downloader set daily QTA. No, folder is empty. Yes, just take a look at this. Right. This is what the data looks like. Raw data from the market, right? We got everything, and all the security is thrown into one database. It does have an identifier, so you can separate that into folders if I really have to. The point is I don't have to do that in the past, right? So I can just go to the stock exchange website. Let me go to that site. sct. And I'll just go into the English version of the site so you know what I'm doing. Right, so if I go into market data here, equities, I think it's equities, yeah. I get the list, right? I can look at what stocks makes up the set 50 and what stocks makes up the set 100, or even the small cap stocks or set high dividend stocks. I can also look at just all the common stocks in the market, right? So I get a list of about 500 stocks that are tradable and are considered common stocks, right? Now this is important because I have this data folder which have everything, stocks and whatnot, right? So I have to screen out all the things that are not stocks to start working on anything. I can't just go in and filter this list with conditions, because sometimes index and warrants will also get caught up in that conditions. So, well, that's the problem. Now is how I do things, right? So in 11, it's very easy. I just grab the screen here and create a list of stocks with Microsoft Excel, right? So this is the list I've grabbed earlier before making this video, right? I have the list of all 578 stocks in the Stock Exchange of Thailand in text format. just plain and simple like this. All I have to do is just transpose, right? And save the file as CSV. Now, when I save the file in a CSV format, it separates the cell with a comma. So it gets something like this, a list of stocks name separated by commas. And I have this list pre-made, right? So we have all the stocks that was done on the 1st of January this year. All the stocks in set 50, all the stocks in set 100, set high dividend, small cap set, MAI, that's another market, ETF in Thailand, right? So I have all the list here in text format. I can use this list in Metastock, right? I just copy the whole list. Like so. Go into Metastock, local data, set, and just paste the list here. Select all. And there I have the list of all my 500 stocks, 570 plus stocks. From here, you just click add a favorite. And I'm adding more than 50. It's just warning me, so you just click no. And I get to name my folder, and that's it. That's how I make my list in 11. Right, so I get all these different lists. I can also make my list from exploration, but you already know that, so I just skip over that part. So it's fairly easy to create lists in Metastock 11 using offline data. On 15, on the other hand, I'll just go to Metastock 15. From here, just close down everything and just open up. I'll just open it up in offline mode. And this is all real time, so yeah. So we wait. This is one of the problems. It takes so long to open up. But that is okay, right? So even if it takes a bit longer, the added features quite made up for that. The problem here is it's so hard to create all these lists. All right, so I have all my lists here, the set, all of them, all the securities, and just the stocks. The ETF MAI set 100, set 50 as set. So I have all the lists made in my computer. This was not easy at all, right? So if I don't have any of these lists, I have to create a new list. What I have to do is just go create new list, browse. Now, since my data format is still in Metastock Legacy, I've tried converting it into MS Local, and there's not much difference in the two format in terms of performance and anything. It's just that it takes about half an hour to convert everything. Right, so I just go to Metastock data set and just import everything, right? So I don't have to create list from subfolders since I have only one folders in here. I just select all and add. Now I just name this something. Now here, I have to wait, right? So it's reading the library. There's a slight pause there, but not very significant. But people seem to notice that. So I'll name this set all, set folder, right? So I mean, it's the same thing as set here, so I'm just going to name something else. Save and wait again. There it is. Now this by itself is still unusable since I have all this stuff that are not stocks in here, right? So this is actually the fault of my stock exchanges. What I have to do here is to grab a custom list like this, and import it in. There's no way to do that in Metastock 15 out of the box, right? So I can do explorations and screen the stocks. So I can screen for like stocks that cost less than 100 baht and valued more than 1 million baht. If I run an exploration to screen that, I can select that and add that to a custom list. It works now with the latest patch, so that's a good thing. What I want to do here is I have a list like this. I want to get it in, right? So I found a workaround, which is probably something I shouldn't be doing, but this is what I've been doing for the past few weeks. I go into my drive here. User, that's users period, and app data local. Thomson Reuters. The funny thing is the software is still in Thomson Reuters folders. You should fix this. Anyway, I go in here, Metastock 15, and there's a folder called custom list. I mean, you should know this, right? So I'm just used to teaching, so I talk like this. And here are the files for the list. I can click open the list master to see what list is what, which is which, right? And I see that my set 100 is linked to a file called 9EAB769D. This is good information. So I found this, and then I tried doing this. I created a list, say set experimental, and just create an empty list. Right, so you have to wait to create an empty list. The same amount of time you wait for a list with 5,000 stocks. Anyway, set experimental. I got this here. So the file in this folder will be updated. There's one new file, I think. Right? Yeah, there's one new file over there, and the list master will have been updated as well. So I go here and I get set experimental. List ID 369633655, and I go look for that file. There. Oh, so that's not the new file. This is the new file, right? 36936355655 there, and just open up this file, and I get this, right? So within this window, what I do is I just enter the name of the securities I want to add into the list in here. So I have this list of 500 plus stocks. What I do is I copy the list, and I've created a special Excel file to deal with this. So I just go into this file and paste the whole list, right? So you get the whole list in. It generates the codes that needs to be input into that file, right? Now there's also some problems. Some stocks have characters that were not meant to be in the name, like it has an ampersand. So I have to actually find and replace. So you just go find and replace all the ands with ampersands. Replace all. If I do this, right, it just shows up an error. Alright, that's it. I can't do that, sorry. So what I have to do is select this whole thing right here. And just do it here. Right. So find and replace, and with ampersands. Done. Pre-replacement. And I copy this whole column. Place it in here. Paste. Just do a bit of cleaning up. And save. Right, so now if I would close Metastock and open it again. This notebook is actually running on Intel Core i7, right? So it shouldn't be taking this long. Anyway, I have this set experimental with all 574 stocks. Done. So it's possible to do it, right? So I found a workaround on my own. I just feel that there should be an easier way to do this. And so I can't go around teaching these methods to my students, to my clients, because they would go, "Are you crazy? Why do you have to do this in this day and age?" There should be an easier way to do this. And this is how I've been doing it. So I hope you get the idea. And just for I can do the same in Amibroker, right? So I just go to symbols and watch list. All I have to do here is just, say I'm just going to put it in my list 62, set all, just copy that, right click, type in symbols, and done. There, that's my 574 stocks in that list, and just rename the list. There. That's for comparison. And this program is only 9 megabytes, so it opens up instantly. This is why I'm having troubles, when people ask what program should I get. And since we're teaching both programs, it's getting harder and harder to recommend Metastocks for beginners because, well, yeah, opens instantly, easy to work with. I mean, there's a lot of improvement going on with this particular software over the past few years. It was harder, much harder before, but now it's getting easier and easier by the day. And you are getting harder and harder to use by the day. So I hope that was that was going to be helpful. So yes, to answer the questions last night, it would be very helpful if I have it can be a separate utility, even though that's not elegant, right? But it would still be easier than just go hunting around for files like I did in order to add, stocks from list like this one. Or the list doesn't even have to look like this. It looks like this because it works with both Amibroker and Metastock 11. So this is how I store my list and publish them for my students, right? So if my battery's dying. So if there's a way and that way requires this list to look differently, as long as I can do that in Excel, I can manage, right? So I hope this helps. And I don't know how to sign out this video, so I just say bye bye.